What's going on? Howdy. Hello, how's everyone? Welcome to another episode of AXIOM TV. I know I'm putting out another one very close to the last one I released, but being that there's usually a significant gap between videos that I post up to the site, I figured I might as well do this one while it's hot on my mind. I'd like to talk about the word freedom. Freedom. Because we live here in the West, the United States, Australia, Canada, Europe, for the most part, we love to espouse that we are about freedom, we support freedom, we're promoters of the proliferation of freedom. Now, it sounds good. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like, I think there's a verse in the Bible, it could be Proverbs, that talks about pouring honey in someone's ear. And when we talk about we're about freedom in this country, I could point to many examples, but I like to point to simple analogies because that's what life is. Life is analogous. It's always some macrocosm to a microcosm, or some microcosm to compare to a macrocosm. It's always like a repeat of processes or items or objects. So in this case, when we talk about freedom, I want to point to why it's hard not to call the United States a conglomerate of, or an amalgamation of, hypocrisy rather than democracy. And here's why I say this. Does anyone else find it strange that in a country that loves to talk about freedom, that we label people as un-American? Let me make sure I put that in air quotes. That we label people as un-American? Does that make sense? Because to say someone is un-American is to say that they are acting outside of a predetermined set of behaviors or conduct that we who are calling them un-American expect from that person or those people. That doesn't sound like that's very free to me. And even when we're looking at the term un-American, what it also suggests is that there's a term or a certain behavior that one must act or present themselves as when they are being American. So what confounds me is, if we're a nation that espouses freedom, why are we labeling people as un-American? I was going to say, why do we label people as American? But I know you'd have a technical response to that one. Well, Jay, we need to assign different nationalities to people that are born in different countries, which I just think is silly on my own, because to me, we live on one planet. We don't live in a bunch of separate planets, We all live on the same exact planet. So it's almost nonsensical to me that we even try to pretend like we're from countries. We might as well be pretending that we're from towns or from certain streets. That's on a microcosm what we're doing when we say that we're from countries instead of saying that we're from Earth. But yeah, just something to think about. I could point to a bunch of other examples that prove that we're not free. We only claim that we are, such as the peer pressure. If you dress a certain way, or talk a certain way, or walk a certain way. If you're from a town, like I'm Jamaican, and people come at me for not having a Jamaican accent, or where's your dreads, or Rasta, they expect me to say, hey man, and cliche or stereotypical things like that. So that's exactly what I'm trying to point out, is that Would there be so many people who love country music if we were in a free nation or a free society? Would there be so many people that are into hip hop music if we were in a free society? Or whatever else that culture imposes upon us in terms of our behavior or what we should be like. I've been told if I don't eat chicken, I'm not a black man, as if me not eating chicken changes the color of my skin. You see what I'm saying? I've been told, oh, you're not a man if you don't act a certain way as men or expected to conduct ourselves. As if that person saying that I'm not a man changes my genitalia at all. I just think we play a very silly game when it comes to semantics or words overall. And I'm just a modern day Socrates in a modern day Athens asking questions. Think outside the box of culture. Think for yourself. Think objectively. Universal is how we will come to all the answers that the universe has for us. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Think or salute. Enjoy the rest of your day.